here. It's going to be fun. All right, well, it's going. Welcome, everybody, to Theory Underground. I'm your host, Dave McCarricker. We've got a co-host here. This is our first episode on Podbean. It is a live stream. So now the question is, will people be able to hear you, Dance?
I don't know, man. I sure hope so.
Like I don't see any indication of like anything over here when you talk.
Yeah, neither do I. Oh, click the
Like the what?
ad over in the top right. Like the ad person thing.
Yeah. Oh, because
See
now
if
you're
that'll
in
let
here.
me. What the fuck, dude?
See, it has you over here as a listener.
Uh-huh.
And just now when you talked, it didn't come out over my my icon there. Even though you are in my computer here.
Yeah.
What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? If there's anybody around and you are just hanging out, you're interested in what's going on here, you can help us troubleshoot, maybe, by hopping over into the Podbean live chat. Here we go. I just shared the link to you all. Should now come up in the live stream chat on both YouTube and Twitch.
I'm still not. Like it says you're live on desktop. On the app, it doesn't. Like I'm trying to access the live and it's not. I can't. I don't know how. On the app or on desktop. I'm going to click the link again and see what happens now that you're live.
Yeah, did I invite the wrong email address maybe?
You just sent that link.
Okay. Can you drop the email address you want me to invite into the Zoom chat, and then I'll add you direct this way. Death Con, what up, man? How's it going?
Oh shit, it needs to be that one, I think. I think it needs to be that one because that's the one I logged in.
That's the one you're in there with.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and make it so nobody has to see your email address here on screen. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Okay, now it says that it was sent to you.
Okay.
Showed the same icon. Hey, somebody came over into the Podbean.
Yo.
Chat. What up, Swan Kimur? So, I'm guessing you can't hear Nance yet? Swam? Nance, go ahead and say some things.
Some things and some other things.
There's just no way that this is working because you're not even showing up as a see, you're just in as a listener. Is that because you're on the app? Like
no, dude, I'm on desktop and the app. Like I'm on both, dude. Let me try to open it in the app. Let me click this link on my phone and see if that changes anything. Oh. While using the app. Okay.
You're in. Now I hear myself.
Yeah. Because it's on my phone. The desktop has Desktop isn't working. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, but it's like you're echoing.
Yeah,
because I joined on my phone.
So
I'm on YouTube
on the
Oh my
computer.
God.
I'm on
I'm on
Podbean
on the phone.
So you would have to mute yourself on your mute your microphone in front of you on the computer.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Wait a
It
minute.
is?
Can you hear me, dude?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear me now
Why do you hear
through
you?
my head.
Oh my God, dude. Guys, this was not what we were gonna do here. This is not what we were gonna do a real episode.
Okay, but Jesus, I can't stand hearing myself.
Why does it sound so weird? Yeah, don't get it out of there. Whatever's going on.
I was
How
hold on, dude.
Hold on, dude.
Let me
Let
block
me
my
block my
microphone
microphone
on my
fucking
phone.
phone.
The echo's terrible.
I know, dude.
Oh, but now they won't be able to hear me on Podbean because I muted my fucking phone.
You're coming over it. It looks like you're coming over it. Look, can you see it? It's like you're glowing.
Yeah, but like I muted my phone. I muted my phone microphone.
You gotta
Is
find a way to connect
anybody-
through your computer.
Yeah, we need to find out how to join on desktop instead of just mobile. Okay.
Don't worry, everybody.
Wait.
In a minute, we'll explain what's going on. But for now, you're just kind of along for the ride, I guess.
No, it looks like I have to, if I want to join as a co-host, I have to be on mobile. So
That's
let me
really
mute.
stupid. Are you
Let me mute
serious?
this.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Fuck, now I can hear me though.
What's up, Swole?
What's up, man? I think YouTube can't hear me now though.
Oh no, shit! YouTube can't hear you now.
Fuck.
It's cool. Don't worry. Zwam.
We'll figure this shit out.
Zwam, great to see you over here. We're gonna close this thing out and see you at YouTube, where we still know how to do things. Yes. Yeah. Wow, we had 4
Right, dude.
participants. That's amazing. That was really good for our first podcast, man.
Dude, that was such a
Yeah.
cool podcast. That's probably the dopest podcast I've ever seen, dude.
Thanks, everybody. Bye. All right. I'm gonna click a couple buttons, make some things happen here. 1 sec. Let's see. Things. And then we're gonna start a new recording. And so for the folks who have seen us goofing around, welcome to the behind the scenes. Nobody else gets to see such things. Whoa. Everyone gets to see us do that shit. But you just got to see some more of it than normal. So
Yeah, man. The lifting of the veil.
Deathcon said, I learned so much. YouTube is fine, homies. Yeah, well, we're gonna tell you why YouTube.
We're cooking up some like dope shit.
Yeah. So it will explain in a minute as far as all that goes. Where's my that's screen. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna actually read the description here once it gets going. All right. Okay, coming through good? Fine.
Yeah, man.
Start recording. Cool. Uno, dos, tres.
14.
Welcome, everyone. Start over again.
It's like a reaction, dude. I can't help it. Every time you say uno, dos, tres, I have to say 14.
That's the one that I always forget, so it's good that you say that. Yeah. All right, I'm starting in 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Theory. God damn it. See, I can't do this right now. Yeah, no, Mikey, I have not forgot that we have plans. Good to see you. All right. This is just like this is a very short little episode. All right. Welcome to Theory Underground. I'm your host, David McCarricker, and I've got a co-host on here right now with me. Nance, welcome to the podcast. How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm excited to be part of this podcast, dude. This new
Dude,
podcast.
You've been like fanboying for like the last like hour. Well, it's because you're excited about the technology itself, but you are also, as you were going through all of the podcast episodes that we just imported from the now defunct podcast platform to the new podcast platform that we're using, you were like, oh, and you got this one, and oh, you've got this one, and I'm just like, dude, like I forget. I want to keep going forward, and then it's like, I tell myself I'm going to go back over these things, but then I don't want to hear myself, like my voice. And so then I'm like annoyed by it or whatever. But you're like, no, like this is a fucking awesome episode. This is a great episode.
Like coming back around to these old episodes, Mikey talking about Baudrillard in 2019, 2020, like re-encountering some of the my favorite fucking content that you've put out. It's exciting. It's dope. And I was listening to the Brenner episode too, the most recent Brenner episode that just got cut. So it is exciting.
Yeah, and I've been pretty annoyed by the podcast platform that I was using because it was, well, not working for a lot of different reasons. Somebody in the live chat here, because we are also beaming this recording out onto YouTube, had said, YouTube's fine, you know. You don't need to do this like, Podbean thing. And guess what? It's never been an either or in theory. For me, it's always been both. I've always been doing the podcast at the same time. But for anybody who's really followed the podcast will know, like as anyone who's followed the podcast will know, I have not maintained it with the kind of consistency that I do the YouTube side of things. And that's kind of like, look, at the end of the day, every one of these platforms that is competing for our attention wins out, like one over the others, right? Like I put info about, oh, I'm doing this live stream out on all these different socials, but there's certain socials that get neglected more than other ones, right? Well, that's kind of messed up because the idea with Theory Underground is that it is for workers with earbuds, and workers with earbuds don't often become YouTube premium subscribers, which means that they can't turn their phone dark in their pocket and keep listening. It also means that they get advertisements, and those are annoying. And so they might have various podcasting avenues that they prefer. And all of the content that we're doing here is ultimately supposed to be listenable from podcasts. And here I am working at places like Amazon, and I'm listening through YouTube because I just pay for premium because I think it's worth it because I consume so much YouTube. But then I'm like, yeah, but that's contingent. I could have just as easily found myself like listening to everything through Podcast Addict instead, or through Overcast, or through, I don't know. What do you listen to, Nance? What do you use as an app?
So there is a way to get YouTube Premium without actually paying for it. And if you're hip to that type of stuff, it's pretty easy to find on Reddit or whatever. But I use Audible. I use Google Podcasts. I used to use Spotify. I don't use Spotify anymore, but I have used Spotify in the past. But yeah, like the Google Podcasts and the Spotify and Audible actually is a pretty good one too. They are way easier to listen to when you're just working. You can press play and work for 8 hours, 10 hours, and not have to worry about ads, not have to worry about restarting any videos, changing playlists, shit like that. Like YouTube is even though we try to make it for people who are otherwise engaged, it's still there's more barriers in the way other than just Spotify, where you can go to a podcast, click play, and it plays the episode and then the next episode and then the next episode with, I don't know if the ad situation over there, but the format is very different. And Spotify, Audible, Google Podcasts, Anchor, shit like this has a different it comes along with different expectations for the audience.
Yeah. Different expectations come with different media or different mediums, and different mediums have different strengths and weaknesses. And the medium of podcast is less trapped in the imaginary. Mikey in the chat there would say that. What is that to say? Well, there's some kind of ego identification you make with us because of our faces. Now, of course, there is with the voice as well. But the physical face, the visage, can get in the way of the Levinasian face, right? Because there might just be some reason that like you don't vibe with it just off of face. Now, of course, other people will off of face. It's an arbitrary thing, and it's arguably like there's pros, there's cons. I don't know, but the best thing to do is to just be on YouTube as well as on Podbean, which will then push it out to Spotify and Audible and iHeartRadio and Google and Apple and all the rest. And so we've been messing around in the background here. We were supposed to be doing a belated Capital Mondays recording that would then be premiered on Sunday. But we weren't feeling up to it for various reasons. We were distracted and had other things to deal with. And then instead of going and doing the things that we were supposed to go do before the interview I've got at 4 o'clock my time, which Mikey was just reminding us about, which is good because sometimes when he reminds me, it's necessary. No, we did this productive procrastination instead and went ahead and transferred all of the episodes from the old podcast to the new one and wrote a new description. The new description of the Theory Underground podcast for those who want to know what this is all about. So I'm going to go ahead and read it off here. This will be the first time anyone's heard this besides myself or Nance. You'll probably, if you've been around for a while, recognize little pieces of it. There is stuff here that's been there all along, but there's like a new way of saying things that has developed here in various portions of the prose. It's just one big block of text. I'm actually going to share it into the live stream chat so people are able to see it there. But instead of me doing that, actually, Nance, I'm going to make it so you can do that because why not? So you'll have to paste it in chunks and all that. Oh, sorry, it's too long even for Zoom chat. So I'm just going to go ahead and share it to you, and then you can share it to everybody in the chat while I read it off. Okay.
Before that, just to address the chat, Swole, you're not allowed to say that out loud. You didn't say it out loud, but you typed it. But you're not allowed to type that out loud. And DEFCON, he just answered you. Yes, it's a real thing. Go to r/piracy. Go to r/uBlock Origin. Go to these places to find these resources. Anyway.
You're saying that Swole's not allowed to say you can...
What he said.
That YouTube is for relevance?
No, he named the most popular cracked YouTube.
Oh, right. Sorry, that's what that is. I was misreading the word. Okay, folks. So there's a famous cracked YouTube thing that you can use. And actually, I know somebody who uses it. Chris, he was like going to tell me how to do it. But then I was just like, whatever, man. YouTube can take my money. I should just actually get on that. I need to figure it out for myself because there's no reason that I'm paying for premium.
Well, and it got nuked like last year or something. And they like the guys that run that show really are fighting the good fight. They put up with a lot of bullshit doing what they do. So much love to them, but also, yeah, you can't say that word out loud on Google's platform.
You think they care?
No, they don't fucking care. Ultimately, it's implicit, dude. Like, there's going to be a level of loss that they accept.
All right.
Let me.
You got it to share in the chat there?
There we go.
Also, I want to just say for the people who are using their eyeballs to look at the screen, there's definitely a weird thing going on with my lighting, and I haven't been able to figure it out today. But also, I don't want that to be the point. Like, this is a podcast day, so you know, hopefully it does. Hopefully, it doesn't matter, and hopefully, it'll be fine. But I need a better light. The light here is a weird one. Anyway, you got it there? Nance?
Yeah, my
You froze.
my fucking displays just froze up on me.
Oh, dude, you're back. Okay.
Right back. I guess my graphics card is fucking up, dude. Okay, it's back.
I'm gonna read it off.
Start pasting it in the chat.
All right. Theory Underground is a lecture course and publishing platform for working class autodidacts and intellectual malcontents of various and diverse stripes. Most of what happens at TU is in relatively small and focused lecture-driven courses. However, there are a lot of public-facing dialogues with colleagues, fellow travelers, co-instructors, and ultimately whatever I want to do. Hi, I'm David McCarricker, and the reason this podcast exists is because I want the stuff I'm putting out there to be more widely accessible for people who don't want to pay for YouTube Premium. I assume an audience of workers with earbuds, even though most of them are, at this point, post-grads from Europe who have given up on existing movements, parties, ideologies, and who ultimately want to understand the situation we are in. The content you will find here is going to be weird in a few important ways. First, though I do want to be reachable by the kinds of workers like me who want this content, it is extremely niche and not very algorithm friendly, which results in, second, these episodes are all variable length and unedited. This is because, 3, we are using the medium against its intended purposes. That is why you will find a kind of quality in this content that is not to be found elsewhere. Some of the time, I will be posting older content that is canon in a very serious sense. Other times, I will be posting live streams from the current week. Whereas most streamers broadcast with their live audience primarily in mind, everything I do prioritizes future listeners and repeat listeners. If you dig what's going on here and want to support, there are a variety of ways to do that. Patrons just give me money to keep doing what I do best. Subscribers get all kinds of access to past, ongoing, and upcoming closed courses and monthly seminars. As things progress, I will release my audiobook chapters and past courses to the podcast as well. Think of it as a kind of buffet. If you want to binge all the delicious dishes, then hell yeah. But if you are just here for the interviews, lectures, or Capital Monday sessions, for instance, then that's cool too. Just know that everything here is produced for posterity as in future you, future me, future others who will engage with this material more like texts than as one-off streams. We're not just talking to ourselves, but fostering a specific kind of future, one with humans still in it. To do that, we must foster the conditions to go beyond the current theory scene and develop a robust and dynamic working class intellectual and creative milieu that paves the way for the only thing that gives me a shred of hope. Sorry, there's a Nance dropped from the call, and so I had to change screens there. To do that, we must foster the conditions to go beyond the current theory scene and develop a robust and dynamic working class intellectual and creative milieu that paves the way for the only thing that gives me a shred of hope, as in the future intellectual vanguard that's needed. Needed for what? Find out here. That's what it is. That's what it is. But I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording here until Nance is back. And then I'll just engage with the stream. Follow the stream. And I wanted to say one of the things about this, making stuff for people who want to, who are going to be repeating, who aren't just constantly onto the new thing, who are trying to actually learn about this stuff, not just kind of broach it for curiosity and then move on. An example, that's DeathGod, who in the chat just said, DeathGod's been going over past episodes, like old Theory Underground content, and said that they're as good as ever, and that's great to hear. Where the fuck is Nance? He's in this Google document, but he's not in this Zoom call. My co-host is gone. Okay, I'll just keep recording. I guess. Hold on. I'm gonna quick call Nance here. He says logging back in. Stupid. We started the stream with audio with technical issues, and then we are now finding new ones. Oh my god, Nance just had a blue screen. Has anybody in the chat here ever had the blue screen happen?
It just makes me want to cut someone up with a chain.
Oh, I'm gonna let that play actually.
It just makes me want to cut someone up with a chainsaw. I mean, that's ridiculous.
What the hell are you talking about?
Shit's fucked, dude. I don't know. Nance went on strike. Yeah. Dude, the blue screen sucks. I don't got time for this. Balarka, any updates on Land versus Zizek? Yeah, the update is that Land told me he would get back to me when he was back from vacation, and Zizek said he was down in February. And then I reached out to Zizek, and he is not doing so well. In fact, he's worse than he's ever been health-wise. And at the same time, Land not only has not responded, but I followed up with him, and now I've just been in limbo, kind of waiting. I don't want to pester him. I don't want to annoy him. So we'll see. He might be waiting to see what goes down with the Anna Greenspan interview next week, which is likely. So I know that they're close. I don't really know exactly what their relationship is, but they've obviously worked with one another for a long time. Anna Greenspan is one of the original CCRU members. She lives in China, as does Land. Greenspan's new book says, "To my dear," or it says, "and finally my," I don't think she uses the word dear or beloved, but something that's affectionate like that and she just uses his first name, Nick. So I don't know as far as that goes, but that doesn't matter. What we're going to be talking to her about is media theory and mega cities and the future of tech, like where we're going with things. Anna Greenspan is really important for thinking about cities as a sort of evolutionary stage and what that is sort of paving the way for. Deathcon says, I haven't had a blue screen of death in like 10 years. Oh, you're lucky. Yeah, I've had a few. Over the years. Deathcon said, I hope Slavoy is okay. As he always says, life is shit. Yeah, me too, though. So he just wrote this preface for the second edition of Time Energy, the book, which is exciting, of course. Like, that's amazing. But it's like kind of a bummer that I can't pin him down for a time when we could actually talk about that, or when we could like do some kind of a promo thing about that, like where I could actually bring him on and he could talk about it. Instead, it's just like, no, man, he is under the weather. Oh, and speaking about people's SOs, Yela Krepchik, Slavoj Žižek's wife, is a theorist that focuses on Hollywood. It's cool that she's not just like, when you read Žižek, like he's talking about Barcelona and all these kinds of like Criterion Collection films and stuff like that, but it's cool that Yela Krepchik is like talking about Game of Thrones and Handmaid's Tale and all of these other kinds of like, well, she'll actually talk about shows and stuff like that. And I'll be interviewing her on February 19th, which is obviously like, what, 3 days away? Really excited about that. Dude, Nance is like gone. What the hell? Setting up just takes forever. Yeah, here, I'll bring him on over the phone here. Let's just call him up. Put him on speakerphone for you all. You're live.
What the fuck?
Well,
Yo.
no, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah, and you're live, by the way. So I put you on speakerphone.
What's cracking?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and unpause the recording and explain what just happened, or ask you what just happened, actually. So unpause in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so yeah, Nance dropped out of the Zoom call, and we were waiting a while, and I had paused the recording, but I figured I'll call him up on speakerphone and just hold the phone up to my microphone. You're live, Nance. How's it going?
Oh, man, I'm just over here living my best life, dude. Dealing with blue screens of death and shitty computers that don't fucking work right. I mean, no, they do work right. All you're ever going to do is sit back and watch porn and order shit on Amazon. The thing is, we don't want to settle for that. So we constantly find ourselves in a situation of having technical issues.
or it's all an elaborate performance art piece, as Carl has suggested. Alexander said, bro, your prices are too crazy. Alexander, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm $60,000 in debt. I spent the last 12 years studying what I'm studying, and I could be doing it at a university, but I choose to do what I love with the people I love. And I love doing what I do. And I've had a scholarship available for every fucking buddy ever since day one. So I want to hear that my prices are too crazy. I'm trying to get paid fairly. And anybody who thinks that I'm not is trying to rip me the fuck off. I put more work into my content than anybody else you appreciate. And I make it free to over half the people who attend the courses because of the scholarship, which comes out of my pocket. So I don't think the prices are so crazy. In fact, those prices are anywhere between one third to, I don't know, way more than that, like cheaper than anything that you could find at any competitor that is either a para-academic institution or an actual academic institution. Nance wrote up a little screed on this actually recently, and I included it in the Substack post called Money Realism. But I don't know if you want to say anything to that, or we'll just move on. Nance, are you even there?
Yeah.
Oh, now you're breaking up. No, you're breaking.
Yeah. My Bluetooth is trying to reconnect, and now it's not. So I didn't catch the end of what you were saying.
Oh, I was just talking about why the prices are fair.
Yeah.
I said you wrote.
Yeah.
I said you wrote up something about it recently, and then I asked if you wanted to say anything.
No, just that it's like there are. I mean, first of all, there's institutions, universities, and other institutions that charge buku dinero for what is kind of just like performative circle jerks. Like, oh, we're so smart. Oh, we're so woke. Oh, we're so inclusive. And then there's other outlets for alternative education that are still way more expensive. And it, like, they have overhead, they have stuff that they need to take care of and all that. But then, like, if you look at what's happening at Theory Underground, it's priced insanely low for what you're getting. Because it really is just, it's like, no, there is this necessary overhead that's required to keep the machine operating, and that's it. Like, it's not, oh, we're invested in this prestige and this recognition and this performative circle jerk. It really is like, hey, I need to pay the bills, I need to eat, I need to keep the fucking internet bill running. So we can do this thing that we all at least claim to be seriously interested in doing.
Yeah. DeSoto says, beyond fair, to be honest, less than community college. Now, you could say that community college is giving you credit and that matters more because you're trying to get a job. But the whole point of why we're doing this is that I wanted to be able to teach people who want to do it for its own sake, because I want to do it for its own sake, because that's the point of the liberal arts, is that they are good unto themselves, like in themselves, on their own, for their own purposes. They're good. They're worth it. And philosophy and theory don't really have places like that, insofar as there are these sort of para-academic sort of exiting or, like, you know, outside of the university kinds of institutions. The levers, various kinds of community rise up. There's different kinds of groups. There's different kinds of ways of approaching it. Nobody else has gone through as much effort as I have to make that stuff available on demand and to make it so that people who can't afford jack shit, who might be unemployed, who might just be just really struggling week to week, can still access it. And that's why we actually cut so many scholarships. But also we give a bunch of free stuff. We're constantly giving free stuff. Like this is free. Of course, this is kind of, we're just hanging out right now. But and you know, of course, some people would say, well, the hanging out is still work. Well, you know, I think that's kind of funny when people act like they're doing real work when they're just hanging out. And that's kind of the Twitch scene. And that's how a lot of YouTube streamers are as well. Oh, I cultivate a community and we hang out and we chat. And it's like, cool, man. I guess that, you know, that is serving a purpose, but it's not essential labor in this, like, you know, sense where if the society was structured justly or smart, it would be like a viable career path. No, it'd be something you do on your free time because it's fun. So you shouldn't have to be compensated for it. So you shouldn't have to support someone on Patreon. You shouldn't have to support somebody through subscriptions of any type, because the way that the society should be structured should make it so that, able-bodied people put in their 20,000 hours of labor into a society that's heavily automated, that has reduced bullshit jobs and redistributed shitty work that can't be automated. And outside of that, heteronomous form of labor that deals with the necessary tasks of society, you're fucking free to cooperatively or autonomously do whatever you like. And that is, of course, like where we're coming from. And that's what I'm doing with time energy theory. So I'm glad you brought it up. It's great. It was a cool little interjection here on the podcast. And look, I get a little defensive though, because I try so hard and I see the quote unquote competitors and they don't try.
Yeah.
I'm the one who gets the flack, but that's because I'm out here actually talking to you. The other people who just put up the big old walls and don't even want you to have access to this kind of stuff don't even get this kind of questioning. And so it's like, yeah, the function of a course is very different from like a YouTube video or a podcast episode, which is kind of why YouTube and podcasts aren't really made for courses, and we're bending the medium. But part of bending the medium is we still actually do small courses. Small courses matter. You know, if 3 to 10 people are paying for a course, and most of those people are paying for the bottom tier of that course, and a handful of other people are also there as scholarship writers because they are in countries that have shit currencies and they are students and they are broke as fuck, which is often how it works out. And they're probably working other jobs just to make ends meet or whatever. In those situations, the course being closed and small actually makes it valuable. Like the course being closed and small, contained in that sense, is part of the point. And so, yeah, like yesterday we did this 5-hour lecture it was a sort of introduction to Levinas and Husserl at the same time. And that was public. That was free. Anybody can approach that. But you can't always do that. And part of the reason is because people have to get to know one another. But also from the, instructor standpoint, I have to be able to, at some point, assume that you know X, Y, and Z so I can move on and talk about other things and talk in such a way that assumes you do remember that, which is not possible with live streams. Because live streams, the audience is a rotating door where you cannot assume that people have seen what came before. And that medium causes a real difference for me. It causes a difference for you, I'm sure as well, Nance. but like it definitely causes a difference for me in terms of what I'm learning and what I do in preparation and how I show up. But like, what would you say is the added value of the contained smaller course?
It's a space for people to get serious about doing, contend with other people who all want to speak up, who all want to be
Dude, you're breaking up hard.
from. All right, let me try to see if I can get back in the Zoom call. And hopefully I don't have another blue screen.
Balarka says the publicly accessible stuff outweighs the prices, in my opinion. What? We got people in here I've never seen before. What's up, everybody? How you all doing? There's too much going on in chat for me to keep up with everything. Somebody said he thinks the prices are crazy. Take the opinion on the chin. Why get mad? Well, because I will respond however the fuck I feel. I have no problem expressing my emotions. You seem to have a problem receiving them. So you can go anywhere else you like. This is my little corner of the internet. Bye. Nance, bye. What were you going to say?
I'm back in the Zoom thing.
Oh, sweet. Oh, thank God. This whole speakerphone thing is crazy. Look, everybody, Nance is back. Oh, wait, you can't see yet. Let me switch screens here. Boom. Well, you're back, but I don't think your audio's back yet. Can you hear me on?
Yeah, I just hung up the phone. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can everybody hear him? Are we good?
So I guess the just to go back to the benefit of more small or smaller intentional spaces, they create spaces where people can take it seriously, where you don't have to contend with all the noise that comes from the internet. Everyone's clamoring to get the praise and the recognition from the master. And you could really get in and take it seriously and do this work that is the work that we're trying to do is necessarily collaborative work. You can't do it alone. Sorry, you can't go be Thoreau. You can't go live on a mountain and study books and unlock the secrets of the universe in isolation. You just can't. I'm sorry, dude. You have to do it in concert with a milieu of others. But you can't do that on the internet. You can't do that when there's 50 other people raising their hand and trying to climb over one another to say the thing and do the thing and get the score the internet points. So having smaller gated areas where you can take it seriously and actually do the work is important. And that plays right along with the public work. They both feed into one another. They both support each other. They are both necessary. So being able to do both, for the people that get it, fuck yeah, ride or die. For the people that don't get it, I don't know. Like we've talked about it so many times, and we'll continue to talk about it because, we are out here like riding the wave. We're doing hang 10. We're really trying to force this square peg into the round hole that is just this instrumentalized existence of nothing but passive productive consumption and that's on offer for everybody. Being a denizen of the internet, being 21st century digital boys and girls and thems, we have no choice but to force the issue or settle, and we're just not willing to settle. So if you're here for it, and if you are a ride or die, then fuck yeah, what's up? And if you're not, then I don't know, dude, fuck you.
Yeah. What? Why are you mad? Yes. Well, it's cool. We're not mad. I do want to be like, anybody who says that shit's always gonna get the back. Like, no, motherfucker. You want to talk about prices? Because if you want to start talking prices, you're acting like we're in the fucking farmer's market in I don't know, Chiang Mai, Thailand, and I'm trying to buy something and you're like, no, I want this much for that. And we're having like this argument about the price. You want to have that conversation? Okay, let's do that. Because this isn't fucking Walmart, right? If this was fucking Walmart, you don't have that conversation with the clerk, right? If this was a university, you don't have a conversation with the administration. No, it's because I'm a human being who has had to look at my actual cost of living and the actual stress that is put on myself and my wife and my cat. And I go, okay, what do I actually have to do to make ends meet? And then I'd go ahead and I put prices out accordingly. And then you're like, well, according to my understanding of supply and demand, and what other people in this space are doing, I think, dude, okay, you want to have that conversation? Let's go. Like, I haven't thought about it. Let's do it.
No, and
down.
it's absurd. People are like, coming in, and I'm not even saying people are doing this because it's not like people are doing this. I am arguing with an imaginary other at this point. But that other in this situation is going to come in and be like, oh, that, you know, I don't want to pay that much. And it's like, dude, to get the level of shit that's actually being generated here, you would have to pay orders of magnitude more anywhere else. So to come in on some like, oh, that costs too much shit, like, you're just wrong, dude. And second or third and next, whatever, I'm invested time, energy, and financially at this point. Like, I've put myself and my stakes on the line because I believe in what's going on. I see at least part of what I see is going on in all this. And I take myself seriously enough to want to call you out on that. Be like, no, dude, like I have earned the things that I've already put into this project. So it's like, yeah, I want to get defensive too. Because it's like, no, this is not just like the performative, oh, it's all loosey-goosey, hippy-dippy, happy, everything is okay. All you have to do is like and subscribe. Go to my Patreon. Pay me $20 a month to tell you ultimately you're a good person and everyone else is not a good person. Like, that's what you're buying when you go to a lot of these other places. And that's whack, dude. I want to fight you. I want to go to your neighborhood.
Wesley said, you are becoming a capitalist, man. Where are all these people coming from? Like, where did we get like this influx of like, well, it seems like infantile leftists, right? Like, people who think that there's a capitalist economy and then they get to go outside of it and do something else, right? Yeah. Like, we're the ones who are reading Capital for, you know, anywhere between 4 to 6, 8 hours per week, indefinitely, and constantly going, okay, how to get beyond capital. But we're fucking capital realists, dude. Like, this is where we are.
That's
like,
it, man.
Here's
like,
the thing.
we can't live in this floating world. We can't fucking live in this fantasy world of ideals where, oh, well, this is wrong. I disagree with this. So therefore you're an asshole. You're a fucking fascist. You're the fucking problem. Like, dude, I'm sorry. I'm a 37-year-old man. I'm a fucking parent. I'm a partner. I've worked my entire fucking life. I live in the real world. I don't live in a padded fucking room where I get to eat Cheetos and ice cream all day, where someone brings me my meals on golden fucking plates. You do. If that is your perspective, you're fucking wrong, dude. And I get it, man. I feel for you. I empathize with you. I was once a young idealistic dipshit. I get it.
Oh, shit, dude. Nance, you were supposed to be the good cop in this conversation. I was supposed to be the bad cop. No,
I'm being good.
Now I have to pull him back. Your courses are $400 to $2,000. That's crazy. my courses have coupons for like half off. Like right now, the Leon Brenner course is half off. That's the next one that's coming up. And the past ones are all accessible for anywhere between $30 a month and $300 a month. And at the $300 level, you get access to, well, actually, at the $150 level, you get access to all past courses, all ongoing courses, all upcoming courses, as well as the, there's the scholarship if you're really so broke. So it's just like, but a couple of people coming along every once in a while and paying for the highest tier because they respect my time and my energy that I put into the preparation for what comes at those higher tiers has made it so that I'm able to not work at Amazon full time and actually work with people who are willing to put in the work on the texts and ask the hard questions and actually get me to show up in a, this is what I was getting to earlier that Nance also kind of touched on by saying that there is this like trickle down effect to the public side of Theory Underground. The trickle down effect is the fact that like the stuff I do publicly, insofar as it is of a higher quality because of the stuff I'm doing in the back, that wouldn't be possible without the people in the back who are actually like you, Nance. And we're just going hard, doing the thing. So, you know, like Capital Mondays wouldn't have come about without Nance being a tier 4 subscriber. And it's like, you're like, oh my God, that's so messed up. Yeah, well, I guess I could just charge Nance $50 a month and then I could keep working full time at Amazon. And then we wouldn't get to do any of these things. Like,
And we could, and we could fake it, we could half-ass it, we could accept defeat, we could do the fucking thing that everyone else does because they fucking accept this non-choice. No, fuck you, resolutely, fuck you. I do not accept this. Things are fucked. The world is broken. We are the idealists, and we're doing something about it. We're not just gonna make a fucking video essay about why X person is a horrible fucking person and why if you follow and like and subscribe and also do the Patreon, why that makes you a good person. You can't wash your hands of the situation we're in, and we're trying to do something about it. And that's why I get so fucking frustrated, because I get it. Like, I understand when people want to take that position and be like, no, it's wrong. Like, I wish we could live in bushes and have no money and just live in the communist utopia. I wish we could. Maybe our descendants will get there someday, but they won't get there if people don't do the work. And if all we do is throw our fucking hands up and say, the only thing I can do is either produce or consume video essays about how to be inclusive, like that's not going to cut it, guys.
No, that's the thing, dude. Like the real, it's like capitalist. Okay, first of all, I would become a capitalist if I thought that somehow becoming a capitalist could get me out of selling my labor power. But I don't know if anybody knows about this, but you don't get to go from being a regular working class person who comes from actual poverty where nobody you'd fucking know went to college to then like magically propelling into the ranks of capitalists. What you might argue is, well, there's this petty bourgeois thing that's happening that's going to corrupt you. And it's like, cool, yeah, but you wouldn't have a problem with me starting a 501c3 with a bunch of profitable philanthropists who are capitalists and then using that money to do a nonprofit thing, right? Like at the bottom level, that would require so much more time and energy, and I still wouldn't be doing the actual research that I went into all that debt at university to be able to do in the first place, which I ultimately wasn't really able to do at the university because I was focused on the busy work, because I was focused on the homework, and so now I actually get to continue to build off of what little I was able to do while there. And that's given me the grounding that I have in the texts that we study. But anyway, Balarka said, off topic, but do you guys communicate / collaborate with Acid Horizon much? At this point, this is just a fucking, like, we were going to do a podcast episode and then you got derailed technologically And then I got sucked into the old conversation that I was like, I'm not going to have this conversation anymore. I wrote a piece about it and now I'm not going to do it. But there you go. We're there. And Acid Horizon, no, we don't do anything with Acid Horizon because I think you would have known about that at this point. They're the world's biggest theory podcast. So of course everyone would know if we collaborated with them, but we don't collaborate with them because they call us neo-fascist reactionaries because we hang out with Nina Power, or because we hang out with Slavoj Žižek, or because we don't toe the line on X, Y, or Z little niche things that they want you to check off if you're going to be a good little leftist. And ultimately, we're not trying to be good little leftists. And so, yeah, it doesn't work out that way. Nothing against those guys as individuals, because I don't know which individual over there was behind supporting and encouraging the hundreds of thousands of there's hundreds of thousands of views, but it was like something like 100 people who were dragging the Underground Theory volume when its cover was pre-released. Daniel, for those who don't know, Daniel Tutt shared a screenshot of this text, and because it had certain names included in its pages, there's over 31 contributors in here. We got all kinds of people saying things like, people who purchase this book should be barred from public life. And they weren't being ironic. That's a direct Twitter quote. This is a paraphrase. These are the most dangerous thinkers on the internet. Engaging with them gives them credibility. So you are morally obligated to avoid this info hazard at all costs. Also, their graphic design is bad. They should have thought of that. All of that was said by a regular who goes on Acid Horizon. So it's just like, yeah, no, we're not in the cool kids club and not trying to get in. So, we're doing our own little thing here. But it's great to have so many new people. Dude, some people really just don't like masculinity at all. Like they hear they hear Edge come into your voice and you're not like a little soy cuck and they're like, oh my God, you're fucking like toxic, dude.
No, like I do have
to my
this person says it's like watching road rage frat boys with tender feelings. Like, no, I've never done steroids. No, I wasn't in a fucking fraternity because I'm fucking poor. I didn't get to go to college, but I do have tender feelings. And like that is a thing. And I understand that we all have tender fucking feelings. Yeah, dude. Yep, you're right about that.
That's okay. Yeah.
But also, yeah, dude.
No,
I don't know.
They want you to play it off like Barack Obama, and if you can't do that, get out.
Right.
Like if you can't perform like Pete Buttigieg, get out. If you can't perform like Winston fucking Churchill, get out. But if you're just like fucking climbing out from under the fucking factory or warehouse, wiping the grease off your fucking forehead, and then you climb onto the internet because you want to fucking talk about some shit, who are like, oh my God, hey, fucking watch your tone. It's like, all right, dude, I think we're at this point where like we just need to get better about banhammering these bitches. Because like at this point, you guys aren't here for the right reasons. Like, no, because like there's been like a need for a purge for at least like a good, I don't know, 20 minutes here. Like I was going to say like for a month. No, I've had nothing but fantastic, thoughtful kinds of engagement for the last year and a half of Theory Underground.
Yeah.
But that's because we've stayed low enough profile that it's pretty much like people who know what it is, they know what it is. But then people are like, this is off brand. This is not the kind of content that I'm out here looking for. Oh, cool. Keep shopping, dude.
Yeah, dude. I get it, man. Like it's the new modality. It's a new way of being. We're all denizens of the internet, and we all have to kind of reckon with and hopefully overcome these tendencies to just be the fucking solipsist, because that's what the internet has done to us. And I totally fucking get it. And at the end of the day, I would just ask all these people like, hey man, just slow down. Like just slow down, dude. It is what it is. I accept my fucking failings. I don't apologize. But just slow down, dude. Like if you're committed to what we supposedly all claim to be committed to, then I do believe you'll eventually fucking figure it out. And if you figure that out elsewhere, that's cool. And if you have patience and use your critical thinking skills and kind of figure it out here, then that's cool too. But also, we don't have time for that shit. Like we are involved in like trying to do something about the situation we're in, rather than just having the circle jerk and participating in the spectacle. So I get it, and empathetically fuck off.
Yeah, it's just, dude, it's like this, there is this, going back to what, was it DeSoto Destin has said, I have a bachelor's degree, so I never had these kinds of classes, let alone would they have been able to be as honest.
Word.
And it's like, yeah, no, a good manager or a good influencer is going to be all like, oh, that's really interesting. Thank you for that thought. You know, it's like, that's, you know, yeah, and then you go to therapy and you fucking, oh my fucking God, oh fucking these people, you know, and then you come back out into the public and you're like, yes, I'm all buttoned up, you know, and it's like, yeah, you're not going to get that here, you know, it's you're going to get a real response, you know. All right, so what do we want to say? We already read the thing. The Podbean thing didn't work out. I think
we'll figure that out.
Around. We're gonna retroactively retitle this stream as what should we call it? Like performance art, technical difficulties, stunt explodes into aggro frat bro dude screaming sesh. Okay, you know,
lemur bestiality? Question mark. The lemurs, those you damn dirty lemurs, they are always with us. And I guess an unexpected diversion down the well-trodden path of the same fucking conversation that the money realism post was supposed to kind of be the one and done, but I don't know, dude.
So what do you say? Should we ban? I'm gonna start a poll. Should I ban Charles and Wesley?
I would well, I don't know. It doesn't matter what I would do.
If Purple Flush thinks that these people are trolls, then
I mean,
I don't know. It's close enough.
I think
to
I'm
me.
inclined to trust Purple Flush and Death Con and Balarka.
Yeah. All right. I won't ban you guys. You guys can all fucking go actually get the memo, watch the thing from yesterday, see what we're actually doing, see what it's actually about, see the fact that we're actually giving you a free service here on the public side, and it's funded by the people who have the money, who actually make it so that I can do this. And you could disagree that I shouldn't use philosophy to be my only thing that I do, but I'm going to keep trying. I used to agree with you. For some reason, I changed my mind at some point. But now, this is where it's at. And I don't know if wanting to do this full time makes me a real capitalist if I don't actually have capital to invest. If I don't actually have capital to invest. If
you're actually always running at a loss, like if running at a loss is built into what's going on, that doesn't make you the monocle wearing evil guy that they want you to be. And it's not their fault that they want you to be that. They're conditioned into wanting that. Again, with empathy. I totally get it, but also shut the fuck up. Dude.
No,
we're trying to do like I don't know, man. I mean, don't shut up, but also do. I don't know.
I can't. I just have to imagine getting told by you that, like how I would receive that. Just like, I don't know. I think you've kind of told me to shut up before. You're very nice about it. You've got a very, I don't know. Imagine being mad at Nance. Like that would tell. I think that anybody who could stay mad at Nance, like that's a person. I know everything I need to know about that person. But where I was going with that is to say, I don't know if that makes me capitalist, but if your lifestyle is acclimated to benefiting from the hard-won efforts of others, which is to say labor of others, and for instance, that includes educational content, and then you don't compensate it, who's doing the labor exploitation, right? I'm totally fine with like the significant enough number of people who are here just for the public side. I think that's great. I don't want a whole lot more, in fact. Like I'm pretty happy with like maintaining the numbers that I have. And of course, if you're not growing, then you're going out of business is kind of like the idea. Well, sure, but I'm also not trying to have a business that way. And so, no, man, if I can have like 100 regulars, I'm set. I'm set. This is the small church model, not the giant university model. If we're talking business models, right? Like as far as business models go, I mean, it's supposed to be more like a Jiu Jitsu gym for your brain or whatever, but that's more for the subscribers. What is it actually for the people who just attend public free lectures, for instance? I mean, in my ideal world, I would be paid by a library and they would have me do public lectures. And then you could come that way. And those would also be hybrid events. And so they would also be online. And I would have humanities and social science professors everywhere, as they are being pushed out of the university, get relocated to libraries where I think they really belong. I mean, in my ideal world, the university just wouldn't be a job training ground, and it would actually be dedicated to trying to understand things universally. And so all the particular fields would be in dialogue, working towards that ideal. But since we live in the neoliberal phase of arguably increasingly neo-feudal capitalist realism, which we're realists about, not only do I agree with Catherine Liu that the liberal arts colleges should be abolished, I guess I would say I agree that that's an interesting idea. I guess I'm not 100% behind it, but I just say the only way I would ever push for that or say, yeah, sign off, as though my opinion matters, as though I have any power. I don't. But if I did, it would be like, yeah, abolish those liberal arts colleges and take all those professors and move them to public libraries. And then they get their salary, they get to do their research, they get to have small classes, and then they also get to do public lectures. I think that would be killer. But I got to go get ready for the podcast. I'm about to do an interview here with Strange Exiles. So watch that podcast for something coming up soon. Keep an eye on Sublation Media and One Dime Radio as well. There are episodes, interviews with me coming out there soon as well. Oh, by the way, Mikey in the chat said, you're a capitalist. You don't, he said, you're a capitalist. You don't employ wage laborers. That doesn't add up.
That doesn't add up.
I mean, yeah, but
these people haven't read Capital though. They don't get it, right?
Yeah, no, they don't. But at the most atomic level, I do think that where a person is coming from is saying the petty bourgeois might be, but like when we think of a petty bourgeois person, we're thinking of a pizza shop owner who's got a bunch of employees, right? Unless you're thinking about like my dad, who did appliance repair for over 40 years, in which case he was the sole employee and owner, which means that he just, what? So he's exploiting himself? Yes, he was. And because he was exploiting himself, he didn't have time and energy. He was gone before sunup, and he wasn't home until after sundown, and it's because he was working his ass off. And it's like, that's what it takes, you know?
Yep.
It's true that ultimately I might have to find some other way of making a living. But so far, I've been able to read the texts that I want to read with the people I want to read them with. And the other people who have gotten to kind of ride along on either the free side or the course side have been the coolest fucking people I've ever met in my life. And
yeah, man.
So while it's possible that there's some other way of keeping my philosophy pure or whatever, I think getting a little dirty and actually, you know, finding a way to make this work is worthwhile. And so I don't normally feed the trolls. I also just sometimes like to assume it's coming from a genuine place and then respond from my own genuine place, which is to be as real as you're going to get when it comes from me. So there you go. It is what it is. Mikey, I'll see you in a minute. Everybody else in the chat, great having you all. Peace.
Thinking is super uncool, and that's why you should do it. It's just like almost anything that's like cool anymore. Yeah, it just sucks. And I think that's like what the underground movement has always been about, is just like seeing what's in the mainstream, being like, it ain't there, and kind of like cobbling something together, you know? And yeah, it's a little mismatched, but that's like its beauty.
We cannot do direct revolution, but the only way to lay the foundation for it is to do what you are doing to move the underground. It's a theoretically correct title.
Welcome to Theory Underground, where workers with earbuds can find genuine liberation from necessity.
Research at Theory Underground focuses on what is most important for understanding our current situation: theory of the subject, capital, time-energy theory, critical media theory, CMT, and the most essential critiques necessary for understanding why the theory, ideology, and common sense of influencers left to right misses the mark. We bring primary texts from leading lights of diverse fields to bear on topical issues and works popular in our current world. Theory Underground is a publishing house as well as lecture course and social media platform.
You've been reading Underground Theory.
Yes.
And
amazing book. I'm a publisher and an editor. I run and review books. Literally, it's my living. This is the best edited collection I've ever read.
Jesus Christ.
Seriously.
This is a little experiment in what I, David McCarricker, can pull off without relying on the academy or the algorithmic dictates of the attention economy.
Usually a good edited collection has good essays, but you only want to read a few. Every essay makes me want to read the other essays because you have a vision. Everyone that you invited for a reason. You weren't some fake publicist. It's like, how so-and-so's a new book, have them on your show. No, you only talk to people because you've read shit by them, that you've thought about, that you think has value, even if you disagree. So I think that's what's amazing.
I believe that I am, like so many others, pioneering a future in which educators can form learning webs that will make learning as a way of life enjoyable and emancipatory. However, before these tools become accessible, they have to be experimented with. That's why I built my own website and app using nothing more than my own saved wages, 5 patrons, and some small classes of students over the last year. Of course, I also have had my wife Anne's moral support and help with accounting so that I don't get in trouble with the IRS or whatever. In less than a year, Theory Underground has already put out 8 courses, 2 books, one, my book, Time Energy, and the other, Underground Theory, which has over 30 contributors, including works written by students at Theory Underground, some of my fellow travelers, and colleagues in the broader universe of Underground Theory. Beyond the books and courses, though, you will also find interviews, reading exegetical reaction sessions, and live weekly events for working class autodidacts, independent researchers, and renegade academics. These include a variety of clubs and cohorts that meet on a weekly or monthly basis. If you want to get involved, there are 4 main subscription levels:
Think of it like a gym membership, but for your mind.
The point is to make learning, practice, and theoretical comprehension a way of life. Support at this stage of the operation is more crucial than ever because my savings were used up over the last year of getting this established. If I can triple my subscribers in the next 2 months, I can quit my gig at Amazon and focus on this work full time. All I need is a few more people at each of the levels or a couple big time patrons who just want to see it happen. Right now I am doing a patron and site subscriber drive, so excuse the commercial. But if you end up really liking what goes on at this channel, consider signing up soon. If you cannot afford it, but want to get involved with some of the stuff behind the paywall, I have made a financial aid scholarship you can sign up for here in the description. Quick side note, some people ask about the profit motive. At this point, I have not actually made a return on any of my investment in terms of the amount of time, energy that I put into things, the amount of savings I've actually put into things, the opportunity cost of the work that I'm doing as opposed to the other kinds of things that I could be doing for money. But more importantly, I don't actually make enough to pay for my cost of living. The goal is to make enough for my cost of living. And then once that is achieved, everything over that amount is going to go towards expanding the operation to the point where I can hire Michael Downs, aka Mikey of The Dangerous Maybe, to be a full-time researcher and part-time teacher at Theory Underground. All right, so with that aside, I just want to say also, if you are a worker with earbuds, what's up? I see you. I work at Amazon part-time and everything I do is for my past self who used to work there full-time. Most workers with earbuds couldn't care less about theory, but I do believe a working class intellectual revolution could grow out of the underground theory scene. My hope is that what I have built here will contribute to making the scene something more than just a scene, and you into something more than just a scene kid. We're trying to make this into a real intellectual milieu capable of leading a way forward beyond the imminent crises facing humanity. But for that, we need thinking now more than ever.
Start thinking.
I hope that you either will or have enjoyed the program, and also make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and leave this playing in the background all the time while you're doing other things.
Playing long-form Theory Underground content in the background while you do things has, in the near future, been scientifically proven to emancipate minds from the functional illiteracy imposed on workers by the structural stultification of time energy. This is achieved by reterritorializing circumspective concern.
Also, to some degree, it is for the algorithm.
Think of it like a gym membership, but for your mind!
I love you so much.
I love you too.